Chapter 1, Driven to the grave. In the hot summer holidays of July, the tarred roads exuded a pungent smell of lacquer under the scorching heat of the sun, as if they were melting. The air above the ground shimmered as hot air evaporated under the heat. On an extremely sunny day like this, the street was very quiet. Even the traffic flow was low. Everyone was in cooler places to avoid the heat. Wearing a washed-out white shirt and pair of dull suit pants, a woman dashed towards the Second People's Hospital. Her hair was plastered to her sweaty face and her cheeks had an unusual flush. Obviously, she was badly scorched by the heat. Her white shirt was wet due to sweating and she felt uncomfortable. But Jiaonan had no time to worry about all that. She held tightly to her bag, where 100,000 yuan could be found. She had sold all her valuables and painstakingly raised this sum of money. Her elder sister's surgery cost 200,000 yuan. She would have to find a way to raise the remaining 100,000 yuan. Headed straight to the ward, as Jiaonan's hands touched the doorknob, she overheard the conversation between the mother-daughter pair in the room. "Mom, it was all Jiaonan's fault. If not for her, Dejun would not have divorced me." This was the voice of Qiao Zijin, Jiaonan's sister. "Stop crying, I've already disciplined Jiaonan," said Ding Jiyi, Jiaonan's mother, as she held her elder daughter's head, as her heart ached. Jiaonan, who was standing outside the room, was shocked. Hadn't her sister had an affair which resulted in Chen Jun divorcing her? But what did this have to do with her? At the thought of Chen Jun, Jiaonan felt a tinge of sadness. Chen Jun was Jiaonan's boyfriend. However, Qiao Zijin became pregnant with his child. Ding Jiyi chastised Jiaonan for this. She said that Jiaonan had malicious intent and was a small brute with no conscience, as she not only snatched her own sister's boyfriend, but also forced her to abort the foetus. Eventually, Jiaonan had to give up the relationship with Chen Jun and allowed them to be together. "Mom, Dejun divorced me. My child is also not by my side and I have contracted this kind of illness. What should I do? Mom, I do not wish to die. I have not fulfilled my filial piety as a daughter to you. I really do not wish to die." In the ward, Qiao Zijin hugged Ding Jiyi and cried. She was still so young and had a bright future ahead of her. Qiao Zijin really did not wish to die. Ding Jiyi was extremely touched when she heard her elder daughter's intent to be filial to her despite being seriously ill. Ding Jiyi patted Qiao Zijin's back and said, "No. Mom will not let anything happen to you. Owing to Jiaonan, that wretched girl, Mom has already raised the expenses for you. When we have 200,000 yuan, you will recover soon." Shortly after Qiao Zijin divorced Chen Jun, she had kidney failure and needed an immediate kidney transplant. However, Qiao Zijin was in the wrong in this marriage as she had an extramarital affair. Hence, she left the marriage without any maintenance or marital compensation. Now that she had contracted this illness, she had no means to pay for her medical bills. Although Jiaonan had been used to her mother's favoritism, she could not help but feel hurt by this conversation. She was already 40 years old. After she broke up with Chen Jun, she never had another relationship. It was not that she was not willing to. It was because her mother would not let her. Over the years, she had given most of her income to her mother. Her mother used the money that she had earned and bought a 150 square meter suite for her elder sister. She had to stay in a 90 square meter rented apartment. She paid all her parents' household bills. Every time her sister visited her parents' home, her sister brought something but also took away more when she left. At this age, she was still not married and had been teased by others as being left on the shelves. Jiaonan knew that her mother would not let her get married as she wanted her to continue giving her household allowances. But this was her own mother. Every time she planned to attend a matchmaking session, her mother would make a fuss and threaten to commit suicide. Jiaonan had no choice. All these efforts seemed to be in vain when she heard her mother calling her a wretched girl. especially after she heard that Jiao Zijin was pushing the entire blame of her extramarital affair and divorce to her. She held on tightly to the money in her hand. Suddenly, she did not feel like giving the money to Jiao Zijin. Before Jiao Nan left, she heard the last conversation which left her in utter despair. "Mom, it's not so easy. What if I cannot find a compatible kidney even after Jiao Nan has raised the money? The doctor said that as long my next of kin could donate a kidney to me, the match would be better and my body would not face rejection so easily." In the arms of Ding Jiyi, Jiao Zijin said pitifully, "If I could have a loved one's kidney, most likely I would be able to reduce my medical treatment expenses. It would not be so easy to find, some people died before the opportunity came." Jiao Zijin knew very well that money alone was not enough to solve her problem and allow her to continue to live on. She had to find other alternatives. "Would you like me to go for the blood test?" Ding Jiyi asked with some hesitation. Jiao Zijin shook her head again and again. Her mother was already old and her kidney was definitely not as good and healthy. Since she would be having a transplant, she might as well get a good one. "Mom, you gave birth to and raised me, I can't bear to let you go under the knives. Same for Dad as well." That, Ding Jiyi thought for a moment, and her eyes lit up. "When the wretched girl comes, I'll get her to do the blood test. She is your biological sister. I am sure it will be suitable." "Sounds good." But Jiao Nan may not agree. After all, this is a kidney. Jiao Zijin had a scheming look in her eyes. For the sake of survival and as a precautionary measure, she would never let Jiao Nan reject this. "Miss Jiao, you came to see your sister. Why won't you go in?" Jiao Zijin and Ding Jiyi heard the nurse's voice at the door during the conversation. Jiao Zijin's face changed greatly. "Mom, was our earlier conversation overheard by Jiao Nan, that wretched girl?" Without a word, Ding Jiyi got up and ran out. She saw Jiao Nan's back and shouted her name loudly. Jiao Nan heard Ding Jiyi's shouts. She refused to turn back or stop. Tears were rolling down uncontrollably. She was heartbroken. For the sake of her mother and sister, she did not even have a home of her own. However, they not only schemed for her money, but also wanted her kidney. Ding Jiyi might not have fully understood Jiao Zijin's words, but Jiao Nan did. The more she did, the more she hated. She felt that even if she had owed the Jiao family, she had sacrificed enough. Perhaps maternal love was indeed noble. Seeing that the younger daughter had run away, Ding Jiyi was afraid that the elder daughter's illness would not be cured. Ding Jiyi's steps quickened, caught up with Jiao Nan and fiercely grabbed Jiao Nan's hair. "You wretched girl! You obviously don't have a conscience. You know that your sister is having such a serious illness, and you still want to leave her in the lurch. Come here." Jiao Nan's head hurt, and just as she tried to tell her mom that this was dangerous on the street, a car came towards her. There was a deafening crash. Jiao Nan was in so much pain that she could not speak. She forced herself to open her eyes as she wanted to see how her mother was. Having released her hand when she saw the incoming car, Ding Jiyi was really scared. Seeing her younger daughter lying in a pool of blood, she ran over and said, "Jiao Nan, if you were dead, it might be a good thing too. At least you can help your sister. Zijin would have both kidney and money. If her younger daughter was killed, the person who hit her must compensate them." When she heard Ding Jiyi's words, Jiao Nan gave Ding Jiyi a deadly stare. Before the ambulance arrived, she would have been driven to the grave by her. Chapter 2, Fever. It was so hot. Jiao Nan felt like she was on fire, as if her entire body was burning to ashes. After a long struggle, Jiao Nan finally opened her eyes. She did not see a white ward, but an old and familiar room. "Mom, Nan is sick, is it all right that we leave her alone?" "It's fine. Your sister is very tough and used to a hard life. Such a minor illness will not take her life. Moreover, she will be starting school the day after. It is a good thing that she is sick, so that she can't enroll for school. Concerned about matters related to her elder daughter, Ding Jiyi figured that if her younger daughter missed the opportunity to enroll for school due to the illness, she could then cajole the wretched girl to give up her studies and find a job to earn income. "Mom, this watermelon is so sweet. Take a bite too." Satisfied with what she had heard, Qiao Zijin smiled and fed Ding Jiyi a mouthful of watermelon. When she heard the dialogue between the mother-daughter pair, Qiao Nan, who had a high fever, finally knew where she was. Time had turned back to 25 years ago and she was back at the house of the Qiao family. The then 15-year-old Qiao Nan had a high fever and missed the school's enrollment deadline. It was the year that she was cajoled by her mother to quit school and find a job to support Qiao Zijin. That year, the night before Qiao Nan's fever, it was raining cats and dogs. Because it was autumn, the weather was particularly cold. Qiao Nan remembered that she had covered herself with a blanket before she went to sleep that night. However, when she was awake and already feeling sick, the entire blanket was found at the end of the bed. While Qiao Nan vaguely recalled that, when the rain was at its heaviest in the middle of the night, someone seemed to have entered her room. Eventually, Qiao Nan was not covered by the blanket. Even the window by the bedside was wide open. If this was not the case, Qiao Nan would not have gotten a cold and fever. In her previous life, Qiao Nan always believed that someone had come to her room. As for the window that was closed before she slept and opened subsequently, she assumed that it was an illusion, that she was too sick and confused. But this time, Qiao Nan did not think that was the case. Last night, someone must have been to her room. Not only had the person removed her blanket, but they had also intentionally opened the window. The motive was to cause her to fall sick so that she would miss the school enrollment deadline. Just when Ding Jiyi and Qiao Zijin were spending happy time together, there was a loud bang that stunned both of them. Nan, Nan Nan. Qiao Zijin's face, who was happily holding and eating half the watermelon, turned stiff. She felt extremely awkward as she held the spoon, and was undecided on whether to continue to hold or put it down. Seeing the half of the watermelon in Qiao Zijin's hand, Qiao Nan laughed to herself. Qiao Zijin was spoiled by their mother. Since a young age, she was overbearing and selfish. Qiao Zijin had a habit when eating watermelon. She liked to hold half the watermelon and eat it with a spoon all by herself. But it was in the 1980s now. Their financial situation was not as good. So every time Ding Jiyi bought watermelons, she would tell Qiao Nan and Qiao Zijin that she had only bought half the fruit. But Qiao Nan saw it with her own eyes that Qiao Zijin was holding half the watermelon and eating it. Qiao Zijin was allowed to eat half a watermelon. When it came to Qiao Nan, she would be lucky if she could have a strand of watermelon to eat. "You wretched girl, why did you kick the door? Who do you want to scare?" Ding Jiyi's face, that displayed no sign of guilt, turned black. She pointed at Qiao Nan's nose and started scolding. Qiao Nan was hanging on despite her sickness. "I have a fever." "Where is the fever medicine?" "What fever medicine? You've already finished it?" "There isn't any left." Ding Jiyi's eyes had a tinge of guilt as she said that. Ignoring Ding Jiyi, Qiao Nan went to look for the medicine. In her previous life, she did not take any medicine and her fever worsened. She was not sent to the hospital in time and almost had meningitis. Because of this, her family incurred extra medical expenses. This made her believe her mother's words that she had depleted the family funds to cure her illness. That was the reason that she quit school and worked to support Qiao Zijin. "You wretched girl, what are you looking for?" Qiao Nan's action had angered Ding Jiyi. Ding Jiyi grabbed and pulled back Qiao Nan's hair with her left hand, while she slapped Qiao Nan's face with her right hand. The sound of the slap was cold and deafening. With the slap in her face, Qiao Nan's ears were buzzing. Her face did not hurt but her nose was sore and painful. Her nose started bleeding uncontrollably, like an open faucet, staining the collar of her shirt. If you are sick, go and lie down. Stop being a devil. Ding Jiyi gathered that Jiaonan would not be physically strong enough. She wanted to drag Jiaonan back into the room and let Jiaonan continue to sleep. No matter what, she would not let Jiaonan have her medicine. If the wretched girl recovered, she would definitely enroll in school and waste their money. Ding Jiyi intended to let Jiaonan continue to be sick until a month after school commenced. Want to have your medicine? Wishful thinking. At this time, Jiaonan saw through Ding Jiyi's plan. She would not be willing to concede. She banged her head against Ding Jiyi's body. This move did not hurt but was too unexpected. Ding Jiyi was stunned and withdrew the hand that she used to pull Jiaonan's hair. Jiaonan took the opportunity to run out of the house. The wretched girl. Ding Jiyi, who was a few steps behind, stomped her feet and shouted, "If you have the guts, don't ever come back." This was the first time that Jiao Zijin saw Jiaonan rebelling. She was stunned. "Mom, what happened to Nan Nan? Didn't she used to obey you on everything? Don't bother about her." Ding Jiyi patted her elder daughter's hand and did not seem affected. Despite having a fever, she ran out and refused to rest at home. She is intentionally looking for death. Jiaonan, whose head was burning, only wanted to run, but she had no idea what to do after that. Jiaonan bumped into someone. The nose that had not stopped bleeding felt more sore and her tears started to roll. "Be careful." It was a man with a deep and low voice. Compared to the hot June season, the voice that came to Jiaonan's ears was cool. Jiaonan's waist seemed to have fallen onto an arm that was as sturdy as steel. As Jiaonan regained her footing, she came to her senses only after shaking her head 3 times. When she looked up, he saw a pair of cool eyes that looked as sharp as a blade. "You have a fever," the man frowned when he came into contact with Jiaonan's body. When he saw the blood on the Jiaonan's collar, his sharp lips turned straight. "Follow me," he said. Jiaonan followed the man, feeling confused. It was only after she was seated on a soft sofa that she regained her senses. "Fever medicine." The man's cold voice came, as he handed her the medicine in one hand and held a cup in the other. Given her situation, Jiaonan had no time to be shy about this. She took the medicine from the man's hand and swallowed it. She then looked up at the man carefully. The man was very handsome, a chiseled face, thick eyebrows that exuded a sense of justice, straight and upright nose, charming but forbidding eyes. His lips were pursed, like he was unhappy. Jiaonan could not help feeling a little nervous. Chapter 3, Enlightenment. "Zai. Brother Zai." Jiaonan called out to confirm the man's identity. "Yes," Zai Sheng replied coldly. Upon confirming that she had not recognized the wrong person, Jiaonan breathed a sigh of relief. Same as Jiaonan, Zai Sheng belonged to the group of children who stayed in the same quad. He was different to everyone else. He had done well since he was a child. Not only had he studied well, he also had a good physique and joined the army early. Unlike others who simply gave up their studies to join the army, Zai Sheng continued to study and juggled both. He had not only participated in various fitness regimes in the camp, but he had also attained a higher diploma. Because Zai Sheng had both qualifications and experience, he progressed very quickly in his career based on his own ability without relying on his family, until he had attained the highest position. Even Jiaonan's mother was often proud to have lived in the same quad as Zai Sheng. "Thank you, brother Zai." After recognizing the prominent man in front of her, Jiaonan realized that her nose had stopped bleeding and her hands were clean. However, her clothes were still red with stains in the chest area. The person who had helped Jiaonan to stop the nosebleed was, of course, Zai Sheng. "No worries. You just took the medicine and you need to rest. Sleep for a while." Zai Sheng nodded coldly and started reading the document, written fully in English, that was in his hand. When Zai Sheng said that, Qiaonan felt drowsy. Upon closing her eyes, her body collapsed and she fell asleep in seconds. Zai Sheng looked up while reading and saw that Qiaonan had fallen asleep. He took the thin blanket and covered her. While one was sleeping, the other was reading a book. There was a harmonious atmosphere as they were together. This sleep took up the entire afternoon for Qiaonan. When she woke up, the drug had taken its effect and also caused her to break out in a sweat. When she opened her eyes, Qiaonan obviously felt more comfortable. "You're awake." Upon hearing Qiaonan's movement, Zai Sheng's eyes lifted and looked at Qiaonan's face. Thank you, brother Zai." Gazing at Zai Sheng's eyes, which exuded an aura of power, Qiaonan felt stressed and stuttered as she spoke. "Are you afraid of me?" Zai Sheng asked. From memory, Uncle Qiao's younger daughter did not stutter. No, Qiaonan said with some guilt. She was thinking that there were few children in the quad who were not afraid of this face of Zai Sheng. She clearly recalled that when Zai Sheng was about 10 years old, his face was small, fair and tender. In other words, he should turn into a fair and handsome boy 20 to 30 years later. However, since Zai Sheng had joined the army, his fair face had tanned significantly with exposure to the sun, and it looked more scary than when he was a child. "It's late now." Zai Sheng did not expose Qiaonan's lie. Qiaonan's face was white. Her two small hands were nervously clenched into fists on both sides. "Well, then I am going home," she said. Seeing the pitiful expression on that small face of Qiaonan, he was reminded of the kitten that he saw when he was out on a field mission during a rainy day in autumn. His heart softened and said, "If you face any troubles, you can come to me." Qiaonan looked at Zai Sheng with surprise. "Sure. Thank you, brother Zai." Thereafter, Qiaonan was embarrassed to stay in Zai Sheng's house any longer. She had to return to her home. Not long after Qiaonan left, Zai Sheng's elder sister Zai Hua returned home. Zai Hua sat on the sofa and was about to ask Zai Sheng why he had come back, when she saw blood on the sofa and was shocked. "Zai Sheng, are you hurt? What happened?" "No," Zai Sheng frowned. "The blood was left by the younger daughter of the Qiao family." "Wait, no, why do you have blood on your clothes too?" Seeing the blood on both Zai Sheng's chest and sofa, Zai Hua's eyes flashed sharply. "Zai Sheng, tell me honestly, did you bring a girl home? Were you so eager that you couldn't wait until you were in the bedroom?" Zai Sheng's wooden expression changed. As he looked at the excited Zai Hua, he sneered and said, "If Mom and Dad knew that you were reading this type of book, what do you think would happen?" "Oh, today's weather is really hot. I did not see and don't know anything, my brother. I am going to take a shower." Zai Hua's face turned pale. She dared to be rude in front of her brother. But in front of her parents, she was as obedient as a rabbit. As Zai Hua was going to take a shower and Zai Sheng softened his raised eyebrows to continue with his book, Zai Hua's face blocked his view. "No matter what, we are siblings. Are you really not going to tell me which girl you ruined? Our family does not tolerate a rogue like this. If the girl comes knocking at our door, your reputation will be ruined. It would be hard for you to continue working in the army. Since you slept with her, why don't you marry her?" In the face of Zai Hua's untrue accusation, Zai Sheng said only one word. "Scram." Thereafter, he went back to his room without a care about Zai Hua's reaction. He changed the clothes that had been stained with Qiaonan's blood to avoid causing further misunderstanding. Qiaonan was heading towards her house with a heavy heart. After the fever subsided, Qiaonan's head was more sober. She recollected the memories of that entire year. Qiaonan was born into a respected family. It was just that her grandparents did not survive through the 1970s. After their death, her father joined the army with the help of her grandfather's good friend, and married Ding Jiyi. The older generation were usually patriarchal, especially Ding Jiyi. When she gave birth to her first child, Qiao Zijin, Ding Jiyi consoled herself that she would bear a son next. When Ding Jiyi was preparing to have a second child, a national planning policy was launched. In order to have a son, Qiao Dongliang and Ding Jiyi were expelled from the party and lost their cradle-to-grave jobs. They were pregnant with a second child, but it was their younger daughter, Qiaonan. This year would be Qiaonan's third year at the high school. Qiao Zijin had taken the middle school examination and would be enrolled in high school soon. Qiaonan attended school earlier in the morning. Nevertheless, Qiaonan had always performed well and was consistently ranked top in school. On the contrary, Qiao Zijin's results in school were not good. Qiao Zijin was dissatisfied about this. In the previous life, Ding Jiyi lied to Qiaonan. She said the family's money was depleted because she was sick. Even the money for Qiao Zijin's school enrollment was borrowed. But a few years later, Qiaonan found out that their savings had not been used for her medical expenses. It was her mother who had taken it to use for bribery for Qiao Zijin's sake. Since her fever had subsided a lot, Qiaonan breathed a sigh of relief. At least in this life, her mother could no longer hold her to ransom with her illness. In this life, regardless of the situation, she would not quit her studies and work to support Qiao Zijin. She would lead a life of her own. When Qiaonan reached home, Qiao Dongliang was pushing his bicycle home as he was off duty during this time. Chapter 4, Favoritism. Dad, Qiaonan chased up a few steps, and called. Qiao Dongliang was distracted for a moment. When he looked back, he saw his younger daughter. Due to her cold and fever, her younger daughter looked downhearted and lifeless. The blood on her collar made Qiao Dongliang jump. "How did you get this?" Before Qiaonan could reply, Qiao Dongliang said. "Let's go home first and wash up. We will talk later." Having said that, Qiao Dongliang carried Qiaonan on his bicycle and rode home. "Dongliang, you are back." "Oh, Nan, what happened?" In the small quad of Qiao's home, a 40 to 50-year-old woman was holding a basket of eggs in her hand. Her eyes widened when she saw Qiaonan. "Have you been bullied? Why are you covered in blood?" "Aunt Li." Qiaonan's hands and feet were wobbly as she jumped and alighted from the bicycle. Fortunately, her father held onto her and she did not fall. Ding Jiyi, who was taking out the money for the eggs, saw this scene and her expression turned black. "Aunt Li, this is the money for the eggs, please take it." Aunt Li took the money, counted it, and said, "Good, your family's Nan is pretty but unfortunately a little skinny. You have to give her some supplements." Qiao Dongliang touched Qiaonan's forehead and found that the fever condition was better than in the morning, before he left for work, but the forehead was still a little hot. He was not pleased when he looked at Ding Jiyi. Nan is still sick, why did you let her go out?" Aunt Li had not left. Faced with the accusation by Qiao Dongliang, Ding Jiyi was embarrassed. "What do you mean by this? It's the wretched girl. She was mischievous and insisted on going out. How could I control this lord?" When Qiaonan heard this, she cried, "Dad, I had a high fever and was in a daze." But mom and sister did not care, they were sitting outside and eating watermelon. "I got up myself and wanted to take some fever medicine but mom said there was none left. I wanted to look for it but mom refused to let me. She pulled my hair and gave me a slap. All the blood from my nose bleeding was caused by the slap." Aunt Li's expression was shocked as she looked at Ding Jiyi in disbelief. She was not sure whether to stay or leave. Qiao Dongliang's expression changed. Nan, have you taken any medicine?" "Of course she has." Ding Jiyi raised her voice. Qiaonan, without looking at Ding Jiyi, shook her head with certainty. "No, I have been lying in bed, nobody cares about me. I haven't taken any medicine or drunk any water." Qiao Dongliang was anxious that his younger daughter had not even taken medicine. He wanted to quickly take her to the hospital. Nan Nan, do you have any strength to take the bicycle? I will take you to the hospital. In the morning, when Qiao Dongliang saw that his usually diligent younger daughter had not gotten up, he went to her room and found that she had a fever. But his wife said that she would take care of her, so Qiao Dongliang was not too worried. He did not expect to hear this from his daughter when he was back. Ding Jiyi reached out and grabbed the front of the bicycle. Which hospital are you going to? Don't spend money. Qiao Dongliang sneered. I don't make much money, but I still have money for my daughter to see a doctor. Ding Jiyi's face was stunned. Old Qiao, I don't mean that. She did not look down on Qiao Dongliang or resent that he did not earn much money. It was because she was not willing to spend money on the wretched girl. Furthermore, Qiao Zijin would need a big sum of money for her studies. Soon, Ding Jiyi's attitude softened, but she still refused to let Qiao Dongliang send Qiao Nan to the hospital. I mean, I really gave her the medicine. She was in such a daze that she couldn't remember it. It may be that the medicine has not taken effect. She will be fine after a while. You don't need to go to the hospital to spend money unnecessarily. Dongliang, I am leaving, Aunt Li finally said. She quickly said goodbye. But before she left, she said, Dongliang, both are your daughters and there should not be favoritism. Nan Nan is a grown-up. You do not hit a person's face. Furthermore, Nan Nan was sick, how could Jiyi do this to Nan Nan? At the thought of the blood from the nosebleed on Qiao Nan's collar, Aunt Li looked at Ding Jiyi with disapproval. Ding Jiyi was mad and wanted to tell Aunt Li to scram. Aunt Li, you can rest assured. This will not happen. Qiao Dongliang shot a look of blame to Ding Jiyi before sending Aunt Li away courteously. Qiao Dongliang took his daughter back to the room and sat down, gave her a basin of hot water for her to wash up and change her dirty clothes. When Qiao Zijin, who was hiding in the house, heard and saw the situation, she gave Qiao Dongliang a sensible smile. She then helped Qiao Dongliang to take care of Qiao Nan. Seeing that the elder daughter was so sensible, the anger of Qiao Dongliang was lessened greatly. When Qiao Nan was changing her clothes, Qiao Dongliang looked at Ding Jiyi and said, Nan Nan's fever has not completely subsided. Where is the medicine? Give her another round. Qiao Nan had just finished changing her clothes. Without a word, she stared straight at Ding Jiyi and wanted to find out what she would say. Ding Jiyi was so angry that she looked at Qiao Nan and felt that he had given birth to a white-eyed wolf. When she saw her parents quarreling, not only did she not help, but she also wished that Qiao Dongliang would give her a scolding. We have finished it. There is no more medicine left. Ding Jiyi had not forgotten what she had said to Qiao Nan at noon. The words must tally with that in the afternoon. Has all of it been consumed? Qiao Dongliang raised his eyebrows and said in a disbelieving tone, I clearly remember that there was still half of the medicine left. You said it was gone. When she heard Ding Jiyi say this, Qiao Nan was very sure that she had not had any. Where had the other half gone? The reason why her fever was better was due to the goodwill of Zai Sheng. However, she looked for the medicine and could not find it. Qiao Nan pursed her beautiful little mouth, blinked her bright eyes, and suddenly thought of a possibility. She headed towards the kitchen of the house. Nan Nan, what's wrong with you? Qiao Zijin felt that Qiao Nan was behaving oddly and wanted to stop her. When Qiao Zijin saw Qiao Nan going to the kitchen, she was at a loss. She felt that something was amiss and quickly pulled Qiao Nan's hand. Nan Nan, you are sick now, you need to rest in bed and take medicine. No, there is no medicine left. Let's wait for Dad to buy you some. After you take it, you will be fine tomorrow. Qiao Nan firmly halted her steps and stared at Qiao Zijin with her deep and dark eyes. Her look made Qiao Zijin felt guilty, to the extent that Qiao Zijin's hairs stood up. Seeing Qiaonan's attitude towards Xiao Zijian, her parents could not help but frown. Without waiting for Ding Jiyi to open her mouth to discipline her, Qiaonan pushed away Xiao Zijian's hand and ran into the kitchen. She then dumped all the trash in the dustbin on the floor. Xiao Zijian screamed. Impossible. Qiaonan could not have known. At the thought of something, Ding Jiyi's expression changed. She wanted to hold Qiaonan back. Chapter 5, Nutrition. However, before Ding Jiyi could reach Qiaonan and order her to go away, Qiaonan had found what she was looking for. When Qiaonan saw the fever medicine that was retrieved from the dustbin, she could not help it and her tears started rolling again. Her mother was too heartless. There was apparently fever medicine in the house, but she would rather throw it away than to let her have it. She would rather her be sick than enroll in school. Xiao Dongliang, who has been following behind, also saw the medicine in the dustbin. He recognized it as the fever medicine that he had seen in the morning. You told me that was none left? What is this? Ding Jiyi, whose lie was exposed, blushed with embarrassment and then simply shouted, "The medicine has expired. I can't possibly give my own daughter expired medicine. What if she gets ill because of this?" Qiaonan firmly wiped away the tears on her face. Mom, you just said you had already given me medicine? So, did I take the medicine or has it expired? Qiaonan then realized that her illness and quitting of school was a ploy right from the start. Ding Jiyi held her neck straight. Expired? If it has not expired, why do you still have a fever after taking the medicine? I am your biological mother. Would I harm you by giving you expired medicine? Xiao Dongliang was exasperated but also wanted to laugh at his wife's ridiculous words. I know that this medicine has expired and there is no use taking it. But you just told me not to send Nan Nan to the hospital. You said Nan Nan would get well soon and we don't need to spend the money unnecessarily. Having said something that contradicted herself, did his wife's pride hurt? Dad, the medicine did not expire. Qiaonan took the medicine and ran to Xiao Dongliang. You see, it did not expire. The expiration date of the medicine was printed on the back of its plastic packaging. The date clearly stated that there were a few more months to expiry. This time, Xiao Dongliang was furious. Ding Jiyi, what were you thinking? Obviously, there was medicine for their daughter, and she claimed that it had expired. You also said that you are Nan Nan's own mother. Does a mother behave in this manner? You would rather throw the medicine away than to give it to our daughter. And you said it has expired. Let me ask you again. Have you given the medicine to Nan Nan today? Xiao Dongliang was in the army. He thus exuded a sense of influence. He looked extremely scary when his face was as fierce as a tiger. Ding Jiyi trembled. Her face was stunned and she could not answer for a long time. Xiao Zijian quickly stepped before Xiao Dongliang. Dad, it was my fault, it was all my fault. I must have seen it wrongly. I told Mom that the medicine had expired. Mom had given Nan Nan the medicine. It was only thereafter that she realized that it had expired. She then threw it away. I'm the one to be blamed, not Mom. With the elder daughter's support and cover for Ding Jiyi, she seemed to regather her strength. She is my daughter. How could I not feel concerned? It's just a fever. She will recover after a good sweat. I don't know why you have to kick up such a big fuss and shout at me so furiously. Both old and young ones have no conscience. You. Xiao Dongliang was not good at words. Although he felt that something was amiss, he could not refute Ding Jiyi. Nan Nan, let's go. I will take you to the hospital. Qiaonan ran to Xiao Dongliang and said. Okay. Mom, said Xiao Zijian, clutching and shaking Ding Jiyi's arm. Dad is going to the hospital with Qiaonan. I don't know how much it will cost. The money is needed for other things and can't be wasted. Ding Jiyi, who had come back to her senses, rushed forward to the front of Xiao Dongliang's bicycle and held the handle to prevent him from leaving. Xiao Dongliang's bicycle swayed. Fortunately, he managed to stabilize himself by placing his foot on the ground. If not, he would have fallen down. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Isn't it just a fever?" I said, "She will be well after a good sweat. Take a look at the situation now. Don't go to the hospital." Ding Jiyi insisted. "A trip to the hospital? Don't you need money?" Qiao Nan leaned gently on the back of Qiao Dongliang and said softly, "Dad." Qiao Dongliang's face was red with fury. "Ding Jiyi, did you do it deliberately? You said that you are concerned for your daughter. Nan Nan has a fever and you said she will be well after a good sweat. I can't believe you said that. The last time. I won't talk to you now. Hurry, leave me alone, or don't blame me for being rude." Qiao Dongliang remembered the last time his elder daughter had a cold. She only had a couple of coughs and his wife had been so anxious. If not for the fear of upsetting Qiao Nan, Qiao Dongliang would have mentioned this matter to chastise his wife. Qiao Dongliang was so angry that he grabbed his wife's hand, flung it away, then pedaled his bicycle towards the hospital. Enemy, every one of them is an enemy. Ding Jiyi almost slipped and fell. At the thought of her husband who was angry with her due to her younger daughter, Ding Jiyi was furious. "I knew that this day would come. I really shouldn't have given birth to her. If she didn't have this daughter, she and her husband would still have their cradle-to-grave jobs." When Qiao Nan was born, the couple lost their stable jobs, and as a result, they had to live in this quad with no dignity. This daughter was out to ruin their lives. "Mom, go home." People had made jokes upon seeing Ding Jiyi scolding at the door. Qiao Zijin quickly held Ding Jiyi and brought her back to the house. "Nan Nan's fever will definitely subside. What is going to happen? If Qiao Nan was to continue her studies, what about her tuition fees? Rest assured. Your dad's words are not final. As long as I can convince the wretched girl to decide not to study, your dad will have no way to stop this." Ding Jiyi signed heavily, patted the elder daughter's hand as she consoled her. Having lived with the man for many years, Ding Jiyi understood her husband well. Therefore, the most important thing for her now was to find a way to deal with the wretched girl and make her quit school voluntarily. "Mom, you are so good to me, I will count on you. When I am successful, I will definitely be filial and treat you well." Qiao Zijin hugged Ding Jiyi's arms and smiled. Ding Jiyi laughed too. "Of course, you are my daughter. If you are not successful, who will be? It does not matter that I do not have a son. I still have a good daughter." When she heard the word son, Qiao Zijin was very unhappy and pouted. Her mother would still have preferred a son. At that time, in order to give birth to Qiao Nan, her parents were willing to give up their cradle-to-grave jobs. She clearly remembered that, during that time, her pregnant mother was always holding her tummy and talking to her son. All the delicious food at home was not given to Qiao Zijin. It went to her mother's tummy for the sake of her younger brother. In the end, she gave birth to a girl. If this had not happened, she would be the offspring of government officials. Their situation would not be the same. "Doctor, how is my younger daughter?" Elsewhere. After Qiao Dongliang took Qiao Nan to the hospital, he was very concerned about her condition. The doctor put away his stethoscope. He saw that Qiao Dongliang appeared strong and in the peak of health. He then looked at the young lady. With a strange look in his eyes, he said, "There is still fever. The effect of the medicine is slower. It is faster if we put her on a drip." Chapter 6, Deficiency. "Then we will use the drip," Qiao Dongliang said without hesitation. He noticed that the doctor was looking strange. "What's the matter, does my daughter have other problems?" The doctor thought for a while and asked, "How's your family doing?" "Still all right. Qiao Dongliang was stunned and his face was full of anxiety. Has my daughter contracted a serious illness that will incur high medical costs? It does not matter. If my daughter is sick, I must cure her regardless of how much money it takes. Doctor, please don't give up. Qiao Nan, who was seated to one side, was also stunned. During her previous life, she suffered a lot and had many minor ailments but not major ones. The doctor's frown softened. Don't worry, your daughter is not sick, it's just that. What is it? This doctor's speech was accompanied with heavy breathing. It made people anxious. Your daughter does not have any major illness. She is just a little malnourished, and had been in hunger. If this continues, her health will eventually suffer. The doctor's words made Qiao Dongliang's face blush red. It was not as if they were in the 1960s and 1970s, when they were dealing with famine. His younger daughter was actually malnourished. As it was not convenient for the male doctor to pose certain questions, they shouted for a female doctor to come in. After the female doctor came, she was direct in asking the questions. How old are you? 15. Have you started menstruating yet? Have you taken a biology class, and know that the young ladies menstruate once a month? Qiao Nan did not respond. Qiao Dongliang's face was red with embarrassment. Nan. Qiao Nan looked dazed and she shook her head. I don't think so. In fact, Qiao Nan was clearly aware that, to date, she had not had her first period. As per the doctor's account, she was malnourished. She often went hungry as she was growing up, and frequently had cramps when she was sleeping at night. Because of this, her menstruation only started when she was 18 years old. Qiao Zijin was 2 years older than her but had already had her first period 3 years ago. Qiao Nan had helped her wash the stained pants. In other words, Qiao Zijin started menstruating when she was 14 years old. Qiao Dongliang did not know his younger daughter's condition, although he knew about his elder daughter's condition due to his wife, as she often mentioned matters regarding Qiao Zijin. Each time Qiao Zijin was having her period, his wife would wait on Qiao Zijin with hot water bottles and brown sugar soup. Qiao Dongliang calculated that when the eldest daughter grew up, she was 1 year younger than the younger daughter now. Upon comparing, Qiao Dongliang was a little nervous. Is this too late for my daughter? The female doctor said in an orderly manner, not really. Typically a young girl's first period will occur between the ages of 12 and 16. But your daughter is too skinny, she hasn't been getting enough to eat. If this continued, her period may not come even when she has reached 16 years old. Qiao Dongliang was dumbfounded by the questions. Food, of course food was given. He could not possibly have given his younger daughter one less mouthful of food. However, both doctors said that the younger daughter was malnourished, which delayed her puberty. Qiao Dongliang's face was full of shame. Although his family did not often feast on delicacies, there were always protein dishes on the table from time to time. Qiao Dongliang was puzzled as to how his younger daughter had become malnourished. Qiao Dongliang did not know how she had become malnourished, but Qiao Nan knew in her heart how it had came about. Since she was a child, her mother did not allow her to have her fill. She was only 50 to 70% full for each meal. She also had to attend school, which unfortunately was during the same time as her puberty. Qiao Nan clearly remembered that her tummy often started to rumble like thunder when the second lesson began in class. In the previous life, one of the reasons that she was cajoled by her mother to quit school and work is that she figured with money, she would at least be able to feed herself with proper meals. Oblivious to the awkward situation of the father and daughter, the female doctor said responsibly, "You don't need to supplement too much, however, you must at least prepare some protein dishes. The child is at the stage of puberty, no proteins. Does your family favor boys more?" "No, I have 2 daughters." Qiao Dongliang shook his head. There were no grounds for such favoritism. Both daughters should be equally well. At this moment, A very loud rumble came from Jiaonan's tummy. As soon as she heard this, the female doctor knew that the child had been hungry for a long time. "Did you eat today?" Jiaonan's little face drooped, she looked listless. The female doctor was angry. "What kind of parents are you? The child is sick and you did not give her food." Jiaonan was weak, her voice was as soft as that of a mosquito. "Doctor, don't blame my dad goes to work and he doesn't know." "Your dad doesn't know? How about your mom? Or your mom doesn't care?" When asked about her mother, Jiaonan started to act dumb. At this juncture, Xiao Dongliang understood all that was happening. Xiao Dongliang had never felt this ashamed in his entire life. He wished that he could dig a hole in the ground and disappear into it. Putting aside the matter of the medicine, the younger daughter was not even given a meal? This. Xiao Dongliang rubbed his face. "Doctor, my child still has a fever, could you administer the drip while I get some food for her? Something light. She has been hungry for a long time and should not eat too much at once." The doctor gave the prescription and stopped talking. Jiaonan, whose head was still dizzy, was held and brought for the drip. Not long after, she smelled the aroma of porridge. Xiao Dongliang was full of sweat. "This bowl was borrowed from the hotel next door. Eat, I will return the bowl later." "Okay." After Jiaonan responded, she started eating the porridge in small mouthfuls. Seeing the younger daughter eating the porridge quietly, and thinking of what the doctor said, Xiao Dongliang did not feel good at all. "Nan, is it because of your poor appetite?" Jiaonan, who was drinking porridge, was stunned for a while. "My appetite is very good, but mom won't let me have more, saying that there isn't much rice in the house. And that it's better for girls to be thinner." Her father could not seem to believe that her mother would starve her to the extent of causing malnourishment, and therefore tried to find an excuse for the mother. "I love to eat." Jiaonan continued with a similar answer. "But mom said you have to eat more as you work every day, it's hard, and my sister also has to eat more as she needs to study and work her brains out. Mom too, as she worked hard for the family. As for her, she made no contribution to the family and was considered an unimportant person leeching on the family, and was thus not fit to touch the better dishes." Xiao Dongliang took a deep breath and could not believe that his wife had said that to the younger daughter. "When I'm at home, each time there were protein dishes, I saw your mom giving you some." Jiaonan did not say a word. She finished drinking the bowl of porridge, then said, "Mom has said, even if she gave me the food I should be too ashamed to eat it. So each time she passed me the food with her chopsticks, she would hint at me to go to the kitchen to put back the meat." Chapter 7, Drumsticks. Therefore, every time, the meat that her dad saw in her bowl just went through her bowl once and returned to where it came from. After that, Jiaonan and Xiao Dongliang did the same thing, that is, they rubbed their eyes to wipe away the wetness at the corner of their eyes. "Dad, am I yours and mom's biological daughter?" After wiping the corner of her eyes, Jiaonan could not help but ask. If she was adopted, she would feel better. After all, it was natural that the adopted child may be treated differently from the biological one. Just as she said this, Jiaonan did not really need an answer. She still recalled that before she traveled back in time, Xiao Zijin told her mother clearly that her compatibility level of her internal organs would be better. Therefore, she must be the biological child of her parents, and she and Xiao Zijin were real sisters. Xiao Zijin would not make such a joke. Since she was their biological child, why was her mother so heartless to her? Don't think otherwise, your mom was just confused. Xiao Dongliang was forcing a smile that looked uglier than a cry. If Nan had been 3 years old, she might have believed him. But she was already in junior high school. Even Xiao Dongliang did not believe his own words. For the first time, he knew that the kind of life his younger daughter had been living this at home. Even now, whenever he thought of the conversation with the doctors and the look in their eyes, Xiao Dongliang felt so ashamed that he could not lift his head. Xiao Dongliang looked up at Xiao Nan. Nan Nan, in future, when at home, just eat whatever you want. I will tell Mom when we are back. Xiao Nan nodded. Dad, what if Mom doesn't let me study anymore? Why not? Xiao Dongliang shook his head. Your mother will not. In this age, education is important and your grades are so good, why would your mom not let you study? Seeing that Xiao Dongliang did not have any idea of what was happening at home, or of the motives of Mom and Xiao Zijin, Xiao Nan sighed. No wonder she had been so miserable in her previous life. Her dad only took care of matters outside the household. All the other matters at home were left to her mother to manage. Of course, her mother would have a say in this. Dad, I want to study, I want to go to college. Well, study. As long as your results are fine. I am still young, I will ensure that you go to college. Xiao Dongliang's eyes lit up, he looked very pleased. To him, it was a good thing that his own daughter had ambition. Xiao Dongliang always knew that no matter how many good words his wife put in, and the younger daughter obviously had less years of education than the elder one, Xiao Nan's exam results were always better no matter which way he compared. The elder daughter's exam results were inconsistent and average. The younger daughter was different. She was always top in her class, and even in the entire school. After they were done with the drip, Xiao Dongliang had spent almost 20 yuan. He then took the medicine and rode the bicycle home with his younger daughter. As soon as Xiao Dongliang and Xiao Nan alighted from the bicycle, Ding Jiyi, who knew that they were back, immediately rushed out, tugged at Xiao Dongliang's hand and asked, "How much did it cost?" Xiao Dongliang's face was long, and the tone was not too good. Does it matter how much was spent? The important thing is that Nan Nan's sickness can be cured. It doesn't matter that the fever medicine had expired, the hospital has plenty of them. Look, with just a bottle of drip, Nan Nan's fever subsided. Although Xiao Dongliang did not care much about the domestic affairs, he was not a fool. His wife was all about the money. It was clear that she was reluctant to spend money on their younger daughter. The more the wife behaved this way, the more Xiao Dongliang wanted to spend money for the younger daughter. How could they save the money needed for seeking medical treatment? Xiao Dongliang's thoughts were stirred as he recalled the questions that Xiao Nan asked while they were at the hospital. His wife had even wanted to scrimp on expenses for the daughter's treatment. It would be worse when it came to her college fees. True enough, when she heard Xiao Dongliang's words, Ding Jiyi's face turned pale and she deeply regretted her actions. A trip to the hospital and the drip, Ding Jiyi pinched her fingers and counted. It would have cost at least 10 yuan. These two wastrels. If she knew this would happen, she would not have thrown away the fever medicine. She might as well have saved money by letting the wretched girl take it. That girl did not know how to earn money, yet she had a talent for spending. I already said that there is no need to visit the hospital. The fever medicine did not expire, right? You can just let her continue to take it. Having said that, Ding Jiyi could not bear to hit the man. She directly lifted her hand towards Xiao Nan, who was standing by the side, and gave her a few hard slaps on the back, causing a harsh sound. Xiao Dongliang's eyes were furious. He threw the bicycle away and pulled the younger daughter behind him. What are you doing? Xiao Zijin was shocked. She quickly stood up and said, Mom, Nan Nan is still sick. Nan Nan, I will help you back to the room to rest. Money was already spent. There was no recourse even if her mother continued to make a fuss. Her dad could not possibly ask the hospital for the money back. Furthermore, the amount that Xiao Nan spent today, she would be able to pay them back 10 or 100 times when she went to work. Her mother's anxiousness was uncalled for. Xiao Nan gave Ding Jiyi a glance, and allowed Xiao Zijin to help her back to the room to rest. She knew that, in her whole life. It was scarce for her to receive Xiao Zijin's help. She was always the one who assisted Xiao Zijin. The heat had subsided. After the turmoil today, Xiao Nan was really exhausted. Furthermore, she had only had half a meal. She fell straight into a slumber. Xiao Nan did not care about the things that followed. She went back to her room and fell asleep shortly after she covered herself with a blanket. In her blurry state, she seemed to have heard the sound of her parents quarreling. In the moment of deep sleep, Xiao Nan secretly recited in her heart, "Go ahead, fight. Go ahead, fight." In her previous life, in order to let her parents get along with each other, she helped to persuade them each time her parents quarreled. As a result, she had to sacrifice herself all the time in exchange for peace in the family. In this life, she would never make the same mistake again. The next day, Xiao Nan got up and was in good spirits. After the fever subsided, she did not even have a cough or runny nose. Her whole body was alive and kicking. "Nan Nan, are you awake? Awake? May I come in? Come in if you wish to." Xiao Nan did not say whether she would allow or not allow Xiao Zijin come in. She let Xiao Zijin make her own decision. Xiao Zijin, who was standing at the door, was stunned. Xiao Nan was acting strange since yesterday and was not her usual self. Xiao Zijin pushed the door, and of course, she came in. "Nan Nan, I have been tolerating this in my heart. Can I talk to you?" There was no expression on Xiao Nan's face. "Speak if you feel like it, or don't if you feel otherwise." Xiao Zijin was stopped by this attitude of Xiao Nan. "Nan Nan, what's wrong with you? Are you angry with me?" In the past, Xiao Nan had not talked to her in this manner. Usually, Xiao Nan would be concerned about her troubles and then helped her to resolve them. Although she was older than Xiao Nan, the fact is, Xiao Nan took care of Xiao Zijin more in their daily lives. Xiao Zijin disliked her sister, but she was used to Xiao Nan being nice to her. When faced with Xiao Nan's indifferent attitude towards her, she was not able to adapt immediately. Xiao Nan laughed and looked at Xiao Zi. "Why do you think I am angry with you?" Chapter 8, Cry Hard. "Sister, what have you done wrong, that I should be angry with you?" Xiao Zijin was stunned and her face turned red. She could not respond to Xiao Nan. Seeing Xiao Zijin's reaction, Xiao Nan sneered. It seemed that Xiao Zijin was aware that she had done Xiao Nan much wrong, and this made Xiao Nan angry. At a loss for what to say, Xiao Zijin steered away from this topic. Her face was down and her eyes tearful. "Yesterday, Dad quarreled with Mom. It was fierce, and Mom cried. My heart aches. If there is a way to make them stop fighting, I am willing to do it regardless of what it takes." Xiao Nan looked down and she pursed her mouth. She did not say a word. Xiao Zijin stole a glance at Xiao Nan and tried again. "Actually, I know a little about what happened. Since our parents lost their cradle-to-grave jobs, Mom takes care of the family funds while Dad brings in the money. But Dad's income is so miserly and barely enough for the whole family's expenses. Moreover, both of us are studying. Sigh, our family do not have enough money, and our parents are definitely troubled by this." Xiao Nan remained silent and did not speak. Xiao Zijin pursed her lips unhappily. "Nan Nan, how about this? I will quit school and find a job. If one of us is working, the burden on our parents will be lessened, then they won't quarrel. As long as our parents are fine, no matter what sacrifice I make, it will be worth it. Nan Nan, I believe that you think so too, right?" Xiao Nan smirked, her smile full of sarcasm. "Sister, it's great that you think that way. Since a young age, I have never objected to what you say. This time, I will definitely support you too. Your latest school results are average and not so good, it would be difficult for you to pick a school. My results are better than yours, and I will definitely continue to do better than you in the future. You can rest assured that I will study hard and find a good job in future to repay your sacrifice today. Sister, these years, Mom really didn't pamper you for nothing. You are willing to sacrifice so much for her. Qiao Nan did not take the bait. Qiao Zijin was mad and almost driven to her grave. After she heard these words from Qiao Nan, she rolled her eyes with fury. Qiao Zijin has been narrow-minded since she was a child and liked to compete in everything. In particular, she was not willing to lose to her sister, Qiao Nan. Unfortunately, besides gaining the favor of Ding Jiyi, she was not comparable to Qiao Nan in any other way. Particularly, after they attended school, the results of the two were often compared. For many years, Qiao Zijin had not once performed better than Qiao Nan in her studies. Qiao Nan's earlier words about their academic performance were like a needle pierced straight into Qiao Zijin's heart. Ding Jiyi, who had been eavesdropping behind the door, could not help but rush in. She pointed at Qiao Nan's nose and started scolding her. You are a brat with no conscience. For the sake of me and this family, your sister would rather quit school than to see your dad arguing with me. And you? Aren't you ashamed to let your sister quit school and sacrifice so much for this family? I have given birth to you for nothing, all these years spent raising you were in vain. For a moment, Qiao Nan was stunned. She then looked at Qiao Zijin. She had long known that Qiao Zijin was playing her tactics. What she did not expect was that her mother actually hiding behind the door and eavesdropping. Ignoring Qiao Nan's astonishment, Ding Jiyi continued and said, let me tell you. If you still regard me as your mom, tell your dad tonight that you are stupid, that you have no ability, and you don't wish to attend school. You want to go out to work. Did you hear me? Qiao Zijin had already stood up and walked to Ding Jiyi's side, without saying a word. Wretched girl. I have said so much. Whether you heard it or not, make some noise. You are a jinx, you have neither heart or ears. Ding Jiyi rushed forward in a step and gripped Qiao Nan's hair, shouting in Qiao Nan's ears. In the previous life, Ding Jiyi scolded Qiao Nan a lot but did not hit her much. In this life, yesterday's event was like the activation of a switch in Ding Jiyi's body. As long as she was not satisfied with Qiao Nan's reaction, she would hit Qiao Nan with her hands. Qiao Nan's ears hurt badly and her eyes were red. She grabbed Ding Jiyi's other hand and bit her hard. Ding Jiyi screamed and let go of Qiao Nan's hair. Without a word, Qiao Nan rushed out of the house. Her father was not there. Qiao Nan dared not stay in this home. In this life, Qiao Nan refused to quit school and her mother hated her till death. You are a wretched girl. Qiao Nan, who ran outside the house, faintly heard her mother's curse. She had the wind at her back and she ran as fast as she could, like a rabbit. Qiao Zijin, whom she bumped into while leaving, frowned. She seemed to have seen blood on Qiao Nan's clothes again. Was she wrong? Today, her mother had not slapped Qiao Nan. Qiao Nan could not possibly have a nosebleed again. Qiao Nan, who was running with her head down, was halted by someone's shoulders. Her whole body almost fell backwards. She fell in a posterior position and just as she thought that her bum would hit the floor, her waist felt an arm that was tough, familiar yet strange, that exuded irresistible warmth. Help her up. You're hurt again. Zai Sheng saw that Qiao Nan's neck, which was as fair and slender as a white swan, was covered in patches of blood again. There seemed to be wrath in his tone. Qiao Nan reached out and wanted to touch her ears. A while ago, when she was gripped by her mother, she felt pain but the pain had worsened now. Zai Sheng grabbed Qiao Nan's hand. Don't move. Zai Sheng took a look and asked Qiao Nan to turn sideways. True enough, he saw a gash on Qiao Nan's ear. Who did this? Is there a child abuser in the quad? Qiao Nan's face dimmed. My mom. Zai Sheng's eyebrows moved. He heard that Aunt Ding favored the elder daughter and did not treat the younger daughter well. But this was worse. This was abuse. Why did she do that? My mother asked me to quit school and find a job, but I refused to. As Chiao Nan opened her mouth, her tears started to roll. When she was at home, she could still hold her tears. Somehow, before Zai Sheng, Chiao Nan could not help but cry. Perhaps Zai Sheng's voice was too calm. As her sense of security increased, the more wronged she felt. All right, wipe your tears away. I will take you to your dad. Zai Sheng reached out and wanted to wipe away the tears on Chiao Nan's face, but stopped before he could do so. Zai Sheng took Chiao Nan to the entrance of the factory where Chiao Dongliang worked. The tears that you were holding back just now, please let it all out later. You don't have to say anything. Just cry hard. Whatever is the matter, your dad will ask your mom when he goes back. Understand? Chiao Nan nodded obediently. Seeing that Chiao Nan had understood his words, Zai Sheng told the factory's security guard that he was looking for Chiao Dongliang. After a while, Chiao Dongliang came out. Following what Zai Sheng had taught her, Chiao Nan began to cry as soon as she saw Chiao Dongliang. Having accumulated the grievances for 2 lifetimes, how bad could Chiao Nan's crying get? Chapter 9, Guilty Conscience. The younger daughter's fever had just subsided yesterday. Today, the sight of the neck full of blood was stinging to Chiao Dongliang's eyes. What happened to you, Nan Nan? Don't cry, tell Dad, what is this blood? Chiao Nan did not speak. She cried so hard. Her crying made Chiao Dongliang felt extremely bad. The security guards at the door were already staring at them. The blood on the neck of Chiao Nan had not only gained the attention of Chiao Dongliang but also the others. Uncle Chiao, it's better that you take Chiao Nan to the hospital to treat the wound. Zai Sheng reminded him that even though the wound was not bleeding now, it had to be treated. Chiao Dongliang nodded many times. Yes. Nan Nan, don't cry. Dad will take you to the hospital. You. At this time, Chiao Dongliang remembered the young man that came. When he saw his daughter's misery earlier, he simply forgot about the man. There was no doubt that the young man must have brought Nan Nan here. Chiao Dongliang wanted to thank him but he was stunned when he saw his face. Zai Sheng, of course. Chiao Dongliang knew who he was. What made Chiao Dongliang particularly stunned was the reputation of the Zai family. Even if everyone lived in the same quad, Chiao Dongliang never once thought that his family would have anything to do with the Zais. Zai Sheng, thank you for bringing Nan Nan here. Obviously, Zai Sheng was his junior but Chiao Dongliang was not used to calling him by his name. No worries. Zai Sheng did not have much reaction. Uncle Chiao, I'll leave now. Uncle Chiao would deal with everything else properly. As soon as he left, Chiao Dongliang went straight to apply for half-a-day leave from the factory and took Chiao Nan to the hospital. News about the blood on Chiao Nan's neck quickly spread in the factory, so Chiao Dongliang's team leader also knew that his daughter had been bullied and was bleeding. He graciously agreed to let Chiao Dongliang take the time off. However, no one would expect that the person who hurt Chiao Nan was none other than Chiao Dongliang's wife, Ding Jiyi. Why are you here again? The doctor could still recognize the patient who came yesterday. Most importantly, the case of malnutrition despite having the means to visit the hospital was very rare, so the father and daughter pair left a deep impression with the doctor. What is this? As soon as he saw the blood of Chiao Nan's neck, the doctor frowned and held Chiao Nan's shoulder to let Chiao Nan turn to her side. When he touched her ear, Chiao Nan shouted in pain. It takes a great deal of strength to be able to slit open the ears. You guys are really... Having taken a clearer look at the wound in the ear, the doctor's eyes were full of blame and disapproval. Yesterday was fever and malnutrition. Today was a bleeding wound. The doctor's suspicion now was not whether the family favors male over female, but whether this daughter was their biological one. Xiao Nan rubbed her eyes. "Doctor, don't blame my dad doesn't know anything." "Young lady, don't practice filial piety foolishly, your dad doesn't know, what about your mother? To allow the child to be bullied to this extent, don't tell me the mother is already dead." The doctor noticed that, since yesterday, each time he mentioned her mother, this lady would not speak. What was happening? Xiao Dongliang was so furious that both his hands were clenched into fists. If the younger daughter was not bullied by the children in the quad, then there was only one person who could have done this to her, his wife. The nurse was quick to attend to her. First, she helped Xiao Nan clean the blood on her neck, then dealt with the wound by applying a red-colored medicine and bandaging the wound. Nevertheless, when the nurse was bandaging, Xiao Dongliang specifically asked the nurse to cover Xiao Nan's entire ear so that it would look more serious. The nurse looked at Xiao Dongliang strangely but acted according to his wish. In her heart, she felt bad about wasting the bandages. After leaving the hospital, Xiao Nan awkwardly touched her ear which had become so heavy. She tilted her head and looked at Xiao Dongliang. Xiao Dongliang peered at his younger daughter who looked so clean, her black and bright eyes prettier than shining black pearls. His heart softened. Nan, don't be afraid. Dad will protect you." Rubbed on the head by Xiao Dongliang, Xiao Nan felt a little awkward. In her life, her relationship with her father was not good at all. Her dad didn't even want to look at her. In the previous life, she did not have a good relationship with her father. Her father was not even willing to take one more glance at her. Xiao Nan knew very well that her father's attitude towards her was not his fault. She only had herself to blame. Every time her mother made her suffer because of Xiao Zijian, her father always disapproved and dissuaded. But at that time, she was totally brainwashed and she thought that as long as she cared for the family, and her parents did not quarrel, it would be worth her sacrifice. Every time her dad helped her, she stood on her mother's side and begged for mercy. This resulted in him losing face and feeling heartbroken. Over time, her dad was not willing to bother about her anymore. Saddened by the misfortune but angered by the lack of resistance. This quote portrayed her father's feelings exactly. Xiao Nan stood over and leaned close to Xiao Dongliang. In this life, she would not let her dad be disappointed and sad anymore. She must first stand on her own 2 feet. When Xiao Nan ran out of the house and disappeared for half a day, Ding Jiyi was initially indifferent. She expected Xiao Nan to have nowhere to go, and would then obediently return home. She would then ask Xiao Nan to accede to her wants again. She did not believe that Xiao Nan would still refuse to agree, unless Xiao Nan did not want to come back to this home forever. But an hour and 2 have passed and the sun was setting. It was almost time for Xiao Dongliang to be off work. Ding Jiyi still did not see any signs of Xiao Nan. She began to feel uneasy. This wretched girl, she was too spoiled. This wild girl, half the day is gone and she is still not back. I'll see how to deal with her when she is back. Mom, don't you think something will happen? Xiao Zijian's face was one of doubt. Since yesterday, Xiao Nan had been acting strangely. She kept having this feeling that Xiao Nan was not the same as before. Though it was just a fever, her feverish head seemed to have been enlightened. It was not so easy to lie to and cajole her anymore. What could happen? After she comes back, I will give her a good discipline. When the elder daughter softened, Ding Jiyi sat up straight, displaying her protective behavior towards Xiao Zijian. Soon, came the voice of Xiao Dongliang. Both mother and daughter's face could not help but change, and they rushed outside. But when the two of them saw that Xiao Nan actually came back by riding on Xiao Dongliang's bicycle, their faces, in particular Ding Jiyi's, turned black instantly. Ding Jiyi rushed forward a few steps and tried to pull Xiao Nan down from the bicycle. At this time, when Xiao Nan turned sideways and revealed her fully bandaged ears, now white, fat and without a single side of flesh, she felt guilty all of a sudden. Ding Jiyi remembered that before Qiaonan ran out, she had grabbed Qiaonan's ears. At that point, Qiaonan looked like she was in a lot of pain and had even retorted by biting her. Could it be that, with that grip, she had broken Qiannan's ears in her anger? She did not think she had used that much strength. Qiao Zijin was also shocked. She grabbed Ding Jiyi. Mom, when Nan Nan ran out, I saw blood on her clothes. Chapter 10, Drastic Measures. Mom had hurt Qiaonan. Dad must be angry. If Mom quarreled with Dad again because of Qiaonan, would Dad still forgive Mom? At the sight of Qiaonan's injury, Ding Jiyi quietened instantly. On the contrary, when Qiao Dongliang glared, the murderous look in his eyes simply scared Ding Jiyi and her face became as white as a sheet. Qiao Dongliang was considered an old good guy. He does not lose his temper easily. But when the person who does not lose his temper had a slightest tinge of anger, it was even more frightening. Therefore, when Qiao Dongliang displayed the first sign of anger, Ding Jiyi hid her arrogance and forced herself to go along. Qiao Dongliang parked the bicycle and did not argue with Ding Jiyi in the quad. You come with me to the room, I have something to tell you. Having said that, he headed towards Ding Jiyi and his bedroom. Ding Jiyi held her breath and followed behind him. Qiao Zijin was so scared that she ran to Qiaonan, pulling Qiaonan's hand. Nan Nan, Dad's expression is not quite right, what's wrong with him? Do you think he will quarrel with Mom? Should we go and mitigate? Qiaonan pulled away Qiao Zijin's hand. You may go and mitigate if you wish to. I can't help to do so. I'm afraid of getting bashed. The moment before she died, Qiaonan's heart had already been broken by Ding Jiyi, her own mother. She was driven to her grave by Ding Jiyi's words. The time of rebirth in this life was also too coincidental. It was when she found out that her fever was deliberately engineered. The worst thing was that her mother would rather discard the fever medicine than to let her have it. Was she really Ding Jiyi's daughter? Nan Nan, don't you want to see Dad and Mom get along well? Qiao Zijin started talking and tried to cajole Nan Nan like she had in the past. If a few blows and a little suffering could let Dad and Mom mend their differences, I am definitely willing to do it. When she heard these words from Qiao Zijin, Qiaonan was on fire. In the previous life, under Qiao Zijin's constant use of this type of heart-stirring tactics and brainwashing, Qiaonan had become obedient and withdrawn. Qiao Zijin was all beautiful talk and no action. Qiaonan was always the one left alone to carry out the silly tasks. Qiaonan sneered. Sister, since you said so, then quickly go to the room and persuade them. Mom loves you so much, even if you are beaten, it's for the sake of Mom. Hurry, after you are beaten, Dad and Mom will mend their differences. Anyway, the one who got physical would not be Dad, only Mom would use physical ways to vent her emotions. In the face of her most precious elder daughter, Mom would definitely not do it. Seeing that Qiao Zijin was in a daze and there was no movement, Qiaonan even nudged Qiao Zijin. Sister, hurry up and go. If it's too late, Dad and Mom will start quarreling. Before Qiao Zijin could say word, her body gave an honest reaction. She twisted. How could she be willing to enter the couple's room? Qiao Zijin smiled embarrassedly. Dad and Mom are in the heat of an argument now. If I go in at this juncture, it will definitely be awkward for them. I will wait until they have finished quarreling before persuading them. With that, she ran straight back to her own room. Qiaonan sneered. She had long known about Qiao Zijin's self-centered personality. Only her mother would treat Qiao Zijin like a treasure. She did not know what Qiao Dongliang told Ding Jiyi. Since that fateful day, Ding Jiyi never lifted a finger to Qiaonan. But whenever she cast her eyes on Qiaonan, it was very unfriendly, as if she was looking at her enemy. Moreover, from this day onwards, Ding Jiyi began to ignore Qiaonan. It was as if Chiao Nan did not belong to the family. Chiao Nan smiled. She understood this tactic. It is called psychological abuse. In her previous life, whenever she did not satisfy her mother's desires, her mother would either make a huge fuss or use this tactic. At that time, she also deserved it. She was unhappy as she often felt that her mother was ignoring her. So she would keep all the suffering to herself and think of ways to please her mother. In this life, with her mother ignoring her, she would also have one less person to scold her. Even better. Sitting in her own room, Chiao Nan was thinking about how she could live this lifetime to the fullest. She must definitely continue her studies, but she could not recollect much of the knowledge gained during the days in junior high school. Although at this time, those who went to vocational secondary school were more promising than those in the high school, Chiao Nan knew best that, in future, the college students would be in demand as they valued the diploma in higher education. Chiao Nan rummaged through her entire room. She did not find a single piece of homework, not to mention the junior high school textbooks. In this way, how was she going to revise the studies for junior high school to advance to high school? Chiao Nan thought about it and went straight to look for Chiao Zijin. "Sister, why have my secondary 1 and 2 textbooks gone missing?" Chiao Zijin, who was eating a milk popsicle, said coldly. "They're your books. How would I know where they are?" Chiao Nan stared at Chiao Zijin's milk popsicle a few times. "Then are your books still around? Can you lend me your secondary 3 textbook?" Chiao Zijin still thought that Chiao Nan was greedy and eyeing her popsicle. Pettily, she bit her popsicle and finished it in 2 or 3 mouthfuls. Her teeth were so frozen in pain that her words became incoherent. "I have completed my exams, so Mom sold my books. It's good to get some money back too." Of course, during that time, Mom had also conveniently sold Chiao Nan's secondary 1 and 2 textbooks. Mom was not prepared to let Chiao Nan continue her studies, so there was no point in keeping the secondary 1 and 2 textbooks. Even if Chiao Zijin was not explicit about it. Chiao Nan, who had crossed paths with Ding Jiyi for the second time in her life, knew her mother's character best. "Did Mom sell my textbooks too?" Chiao Zijin's face turned stiff. She did not know if she was frozen by the ice or stunned by Chiao Nan's reaction. "How would I know? Anyway, my textbooks are gone." Chiao Nan pursed her lips and sneered. She did not believe that Chiao Zijin did not know anything about this matter. "What are you going to do?" Seeing that Chiao Nan was leaving, Chiao Zijin quickly stopped her. "Because of you, our parents have already quarreled twice in 3 days. Can you stop ruining their relationship? Move away." Chiao Nan rudely pushed Chiao Zijin away and returned to her room. There was still a half a week before school starts. Not only must she learn the knowledge of secondary 3, she must also pick up secondary 1 and 2. Without the textbooks, it would certainly not work. If she could not rely on others, she would have to rely on herself. Chiao Nan's room was very small. It was so tiny that it could only fit one bed. But Chiao Nan dug a hole in her room. The houses in the 1980s and 1990s were not like the 21st century. All of them were built on cemented land. Chiao Nan's house was paved with neither cement nor bricks, it was paved with mud. Usually, Ding Jiyi would never give Chiao Nan any money. The red packet that was given to her during Lunar New Year, she would always retrieve it behind Chiao Dongliang's back. For the sake of putting up an act in front of Chiao Dongliang, a person like Ding Jiyi could even pretend to give Chiao Nan some meat with her chopsticks and ask Chiao Nan to put it back. How would she be willing to give Chiao Nan any money? Ding Jiyi would not, but Dongliang would occasionally give a little. Chiao Nan would save up everything as she could not bear to use it. It came in handy at this time.